John Elway essentially just lost $900 million.
I feel it's
How
like
do you lose $900 million?
You're talking about a guy that was at the end of his career, a guy that was a seasoned vet as it relates to business deals.
Hey, take the deal.
Man, if I was his family, I would leave him the hell alone for the next 6 months. I still can't get over this John Elway thing. And I know we're talking about the NBA.
You want to talk about it now? Let's do it. We'll get into the NBA. This John Elway essentially just lost $900 million.
I feel it's
How
like
do you lose $900 million?
He essentially, and I know Maz and you guys can explain it, but he essentially took 15 to make 7 as opposed to taking 15 to make 900.
So here's the deal. After winning the Super Bowl and retiring in 1998, John Elway was offered a 20% stake in the Denver Broncos for $36 million. He declined that offer. Today, this was a tweet yesterday, today the Broncos sold to the Walmart family for $4.65 billion. Elway would have had a stake of $930 million.
What that doesn't tell you is of the $35 million that they wanted to get from Elway, they owed him 21. He only would have had to put up $14 million. They owed him $21 million. He had it coming to him in his contract. So Pat Bowlen said, just don't take your bonus that I'm offering you. Take this deal, and I'll let you out in 5 years if you want out with no penalty. Plus, I'll give you $5 million.
How do you get past that in your life?
I don't think you do.
I don't think you can. Like I don't seriously think you can, because and this is why. If you're not an individual that's a smart business person, and even if you are a smart business person, because John had a bunch of car dealerships out there in Denver and across the nation. So he's a guy that is a smart business person. If you're not, I still don't think you can get past it. If you are, you know interest rates. You know what this could have done in the future. You knew the state of the team. You knew eventually somebody was going to purchase this team. You knew the money was going to know. You knew all these things, but you saw the right now, which he's not the only one that has ever seen right now. Look at Magic Johnson with the Nike deal.
That's the worst.
Spencer Haywood's another one with the Nike. So a lot of people have seen the right now. But the difference is those people at the beginning of their careers. You're talking about a guy that was at the end of his career, guy that was a seasoned vet as it relates to business deals. For him to not make that move and to sit there and look at it as he's still currently with the Denver Broncos in the front office as a president, man, if I was his family, I would leave him the hell alone for the next 6 months.
Now, the deal is he is not hurting. He's got a net worth of about $145 million.
Doesn't matter.
Pretty good. But can you imagine
Could have been a billionaire.
9 times that? 9 times that.
If you have $140 in your pocket right now, but you should have had $900 in your pocket right now, it's a big difference. There's a lot more you can do with $900 than versus $140. And he has money. His kids are well off. His wife is good. All that stuff is good. But the situation could have been a lot better.
Kind of sickens me a little bit.
How do you turn down an NFL team for free, basically?
You don't know. You
don't know what you don't know.
You suck at business.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know, and greed. Give me the $20 million up front that you owe me now.
20% stake in an NFL team.
Remember, and he did, to Elway's credit, he did turn that $20 million into $140 million. You know, just with his business dealings. But remember the old game show?
I'm not trying to cut you off. I just don't know if I could give him that.
You can cut me off all you want. I like a good discussion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, then hush. Then I'm cutting you
Don't
off.
forget what you were going to say, though.
I like a good back and forth.
I can't give him that excuse, and the excuse is this. You know, I played in the NFL, and I play, and I know how much money those owners have. I know how teams work. I know. So, like, if Woody Johnson, who's the owner of the New York Jets, if let's say my career was over, when it was over, Woody came to me and gave me a deal like that. Now, obviously, these are only for quarterbacks. But if Woody would have given me a deal like that and said, "Hey, Braylon, we owe you this, but we want to give you that," in my mind, instantly, I'm like, I know what teams are worth. I know what happens to teams. Their money goes up every year. The percentage rate of a team being their net worth goes up every year. I know that teams always come to the table again to maybe sell the team, like they're doing now with the Denver Broncos. My mom would have not let me take the money up front. And even myself, even in my young youth, and I still was out partying and having a good time, I still would have said, you know what? If I take this 20% deal in terms of ownership of the New York Jets, that's a lot more partying when I'm 42.
Stan would not have let you do that.
Oh, hell no.
No, here's what I don't know. This wasn't a deal offered in 1975 or 78 when you really don't know
98.
what's going to happen with the NFL. It's not a gamble. Like back then, you don't even bat an eye. You know what? I'm not sure if the NFL
Agreed.
is gonna become what it is. That's fine. But in 1998, man, it's like it's still a cash cow. What are you doing, John Elway? But on the other side of things, and I'm just kind of playing the scenario out, help John Elway out a little bit. Because I did say he parlayed a $20 million check into $140 million. Pretty good. Not $900 million, but pretty good. Remember the old game show, Deal or No Deal?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, of course.
It was a great game show.
We had a friend called Pilar last
That's
on
right.
that team.
Pilar was on there. There was a time, and it was like the
Howie
first,
Mandel,
first week or two
germaphobe.
it was on. There was a scenario where a guy had 2 briefcases left.
Mm-hmm.
There was a $5 and a $500,000 briefcase out there. And
The offer?
They offered him like $185,000.
No, the offer was $250,000.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Okay.
And he's contemplating not taking the deal. Contemplating not taking it, playing it out, and using the suitcase. But you've got your family,
Right.
or you've got 3 people who are there giving you advice to help you out on what you should do. So he's sitting there like, I don't know. I think I got the $500,000 in my suitcase.
Right.
I think I got the $500,000 in my suitcase. And this one guy, I think it was his brother, gets on his hands and knees,
Begs him.
begs, Hank! Guy's name was Hank! Take the deal!
Money. Yeah.
We can turn $250,000 into $500,000. We can't do nothing with no $5.
I love
real.
that.
And it's real.
That's
and
real.
he ended up taking the deal, and he ended up having $5 in
Oh,
the case.
mama.
So, moral of the story, John Elway, he took the safe bet and bet on himself. So it did work out for him. Now, again, $145 million isn't $900 million, but at the same time, he did okay for himself.
You know what sucked about, not sucked, because the show was great. I had a friend of mine that was, well, she wasn't on the show. She was one of the briefcase girls. Claudia Jordan, what up, though? Is they also offer you, when they say, do you want to make a deal? Then they also offer you that last one when you said, no, I want the money. They offer you a chance to switch the cases.
Yeah.
That caught a lot of. I saw one of those episodes where a guy had like $1 million, and he had it was like $1 million or $20,000, something like that. And then he said, "No, I'm going after it," and he switched the case.
Oh.
And the $1 million was in the case he switched from.
That's
oh
sick.
my God.
Listen, what was I just going to say? John Elway got back into the bidding for this team.
Yeah.
So it got worse. He tried to actually buy the team after all of this mess. The only reason the team was ever for sale is because Pat Bowlen got sick and died, and his family's
a disaster.
is a disaster. They had to sell because nobody sells an NFL team unless you have to.
Right.
Especially one that has 3 Super Bowls. Not
Correct.
a team and has as much
The Denver Broncos?
history with the Denver
Come on,
Broncos.
man.
Like, yeah, you don't sell a team like that. You'll sell, Detroit Lions if you weren't the Ford family.
Yeah.
But, you don't sell the Denver Broncos. The interesting thing about it is this going to be the first time that a family owns 2 NFL teams?
Say what?
Partially, if you allow me to take you on the journey, because Stan Kroenke's wife is a wall.
You're right.
She's a wall. Like, she's a wall, and this is the other wall.
So they got the
family.
Rams and Broncos.
So they got the Rams and Broncos. And it's funny because
NFC, AFC.
And it's funny because guess what basketball team Stan Kroenke owns?
The Denver Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets.
Oh my God, that's great.
I told you,
You
you
know,
come on this journey with me.
you ever hear about the Vince McMahon Stan Kroenke beef?
No.
Oh my God,
I
Vince
can't remember. I did hear
McMahon
about it though.
hates Stan Kroenke. Oh, like what? Challenged him to a fight.
Oh, my. I don't want to fight Vince McMahon.
Oh man, no. Apparently, Vince McMahon, and I think it was the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
No, excuse me, the Denver
Nuggets.
Years ago, Vince McMahon booked the WWE to be on a Monday Night Raw in Denver, but then Stan Kroenke had his Nuggets playing a playoff game, so it said you can't use our arena.
It was the PepsiCo Center back then.
Yeah, it was. And oh man, you do not mess with Vince McMahon. He wanted
He's not
him
the one.
jailed, stoned.
I tell you like this, ask Ted Turner about that.
Yeah.
You don't mess with Vince.
Exactly. So Google that story. Vince McMahon
That's
hates
pretty good.
Stan Kroenke.
There's a lot of NFL owners that hate Stan Kroenke too.
Exactly.